Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If this is your first time, I don't know how you found me, but I'm glad to have you here. My name is Tiffany and this is my channel Big Check Energy, where we kind of talk about anything that relates to your employment, relates to the notary business, relates to you earning more money, anything under that realm. This is a safe space to do so. Okay, so if we haven't met before, I'm actually an HR director located in Atlanta. So I not only do this for fun or because I enjoy it, but this is literally my job. This is what I do for a living. This is how I keep the lights on. Okay, so today's topic is actually about something that I find to be very interesting and that a lot of people don't necessarily think about. When you're looking on YouTube, you see tons of stuff saying how to make money doing your side hustle, how to quit your job, right? But nobody tells you what to do before you quit your job to make sure that you're in the best possible financial situation. I always tell people, call me before you quit. And I am the woman who has quit multiple jobs, right? And if anyone knows how to quit a job, it is I. I am the queen of quitting a job without a job, but I do it because I know how to leverage my skill set, number one, to land a new job, and I know how to cover myself for a period of time so I'm not out here necessarily struggling between paychecks or struggling about benefits or anything like that. So let me not hold you up longer than I need to. I'm going to talk specifically today about how to think about your money before you quit. All right. I've got a few questions that you need to ask your HR department or that you need to look in your handbook to fully understand the implications of quitting your job. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that you need to consider any contractual obligations you have to provide notice to your employer. Now, this can vary based on your actual employment or contractor relationship. If you're an actual employee, you do not have to give notice in the state of Georgia. However, depending on what state you live in, it could be a little different. I'm talking specifically about the state of Georgia. It's an at-will state, which means you can quit for any reason, or on the other side of that, your employer can let you go for any reason. This includes letting you go after you give you your 2 weeks notice. They don't have to let you stay to work that full 2 weeks. So that's the first thing you've got to consider. If you say, hey, Bob, I'm going to quit this job in 2 weeks. Here's my notice, my letter of resignation, yada, yada, yada. Yes, that is a professional courtesy, but you don't have to do it. You can literally just stop coming. You can stop coming. And as an employer, I can't get mad. It is what it is. This person stopped coming. There may be rules in the handbook or something like that where they try to discourage you from doing it, such as you may forfeit certain rights or forfeit certain monies if you don't give 2 weeks notice. But there is no contractual obligation to give a 2 weeks notice. Now, if you're a teacher or something like that, you all have contracts. You've got to read that contract to know what you've got to do so that you don't forfeit anything. Most contractors have a termination period in their contract. And by contractor, I mean a 1099 contractor. Consultants, a lot of consultants work as 1099 contractors, but there are also consultants who work internally. So keep all of that in mind when I use the term employee versus contractor. And then if I'm saying most employees don't have contracts, there are situations where that's not true, such as teachers in certain counties. They sign 1-year contracts, 2-year contracts, things of that nature. Okay. So the main point of what I just mentioned and rambled through was that when you give your 2 weeks notice, because we all try to be professional and give 2 weeks notice, you've got to understand that your employer does not have to accept that 2-week notice. They can say, you know what, Tiffany, we don't need you for these 2 weeks. Go ahead and get your stuff off your desk and you can go on about your business. That can happen. So you have to be prepared for that if it does happen. Have some money set to the side in case they don't want to let you finish out those 2 weeks. That's tip number 1. Now, the first question you need to ask yourself before you quit your job, this fits whether you've already landed a new job or not, but when are you going to get your first check? When is your last check, right? When is your last check is a question that people do not think about. Some companies pay in arrears, which means you may quit today, but you may have one more check coming because they may pay you a week or 2 behind. My company does not pay in arrears. When I am paid on the 15th, I am paid for all time worked up until the 15th. When I am paid on the 30th or 31st, I am paid for all time worked between the 16th and the 30th or 31st. So if I turn around and let's say it's March 1st and I quit my job, or that's going to be my last day, I don't have another check coming. So you have to keep that in mind. The only check I would have coming is for that one day of work. That's not paying anything, right? So think about that. When is your last check going to hit? When is your first check going to hit on your new job if you get a new job, right? You don't want to have a period in there where you're struggling. So plan that out. Put some money aside if you need to. And if you see me looking down, I've got my notes down here. The second question that you need to ask yourself or ask HR is, depending on what that termination date is or what your last date of employment is going to be, are you going to be forfeiting a bonus of any sort? Some of us get bonuses, some of us do not. If you are not employed on the date of that bonus payout in some situations, you're not going to get the bonus payout. I see it all the time. I get somebody who ups and quits because they got a new offer, but they're walking away from a $20,000 bonus. And after we've accepted your resignation and you didn't decide to talk to me first, which a lot of people don't want to because they think I'm the narcs, they'll come back and say, Tiffany, I want to adjust my date because I realize my bonus is supposed to hit the week after. So I'm just going to push my start date back. No. Because guess what? Employer is now salty. They don't have to let you do anything. They could have told you don't come back, period. But they're letting you work your 2-week period. And then guess what? That $20K, you left it on the table. That's your bad. That's your bad. It sucks, but that's your bad. So you just want to think about those things, right? Next question. If you're going, this is kind of a question plus a tip. If you're going to walk away from a bonus and you know you're going to walk away from a bonus, try to negotiate that bonus as part of a sign-on bonus with your new employer. A lot of people don't think about that. They are desperate to attract talent and they are desperate to keep the talent that they have. So try to negotiate a sign-on bonus if that company is trying to pull you or lure you away sooner than you're ready, or if you're going to have to walk away from any money at your current company. Did you use your FSA money yet? If you don't know what an FSA is a flexible spending account. There are a few different kinds. You have the straightforward, which most of us are familiar with or some of us have heard of. It is an account where you get to put pre-tax funds and use it on things like certain medical items, doctor's visits. You can pay certain bills, but there are strict IRS rules and regulations around flexible spending accounts. Here's the thing. Flexible spending accounts are a use it or lose it benefit. That means at the end of the year, if you don't spend all that money, it is gone. It's gone. It goes back to your employer. There are people who forget to use it throughout the year and they may have put $3,000 in there. Well, guess what? If you didn't use it, it's gone. You don't get to complain about it. You don't get to call me, call your HR person and complain about it. It's gone because you didn't spend it by the end of the year. So not only is it gone at the end of the year, but it's also gone as of your last date of employment. So if you decide that next week on Friday is your last day and you've got $2,000 sitting in there, you better go spend that money before your last date of employment because the money will be gone just like it would be at the end of the year. So definitely keep that in mind. Keep track of your expenditures. Submit your receipts so you don't have to turn the money back in or kind of submit that money back into your account. But you don't want to leave that money sitting on that table. You want to make sure that you use it for what you need to use it for. If you don't know where to spend your money, look at websites like FSAstore.com. They also have an eligibility list there where they tell you what you can spend your money on. So you can talk to your HR advisor or HR director, whoever's in charge of your benefits, or you can look it up on the IRS website. But I tell everybody, just go to the FSAstore.com. And the website is FSAstore.com. There's no the. I just happen to say the all the time. So FSAstore.com. There's also an account called an HSA, which is a little different. You actually get to take that money with you, but FSAs, you do not. So you better use it up. You better use it up or your job will. Last thing, but also is probably the most important at all times, is how much money do you have in your savings? Because there are horror stories of people walking away from their current positions, accepting offers, and then the new company ends up having to rescind their offer for some reason. And now you just are stuck without a job. You walked away. Your boss doesn't have to let you come back. Your employer doesn't have to let you come back. You gave your notice, especially if you didn't leave on good terms. So make sure you have money in your account at all times. I know the rule of thumb is save up at least 3 to 6 months. Do I do that? Yeah. But save up something, because when you give your notice, remember what I said. Your job does not have to let you work that full notice period, and they don't have to accept you if something goes awry with your new offer if you have one. So you need to have some cushion at all times. Okay? So again, thank you for listening. I'm Tiffany. I'm an HR director here in Atlanta. So trust me, I'm not making this stuff up. This is real. This is what I do on a daily basis. This is how I keep my lights on. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, what are you waiting for? Come over to Pitch HR. It's PITCH.HR, and follow me there. I drop tips like this all the time. And you can also check out my website. Go to the link in my bio and you can look at the list of services I offer through my company Pitch. And I love to connect with you all there. So I'll see you on Instagram. I'll see you back here in the next video. I'm going to have some more videos like this because there's so much more that you need to be asking and digging into before you give your notice, okay? So I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great night. Bye.